1324. A caravan enters Cairo. But this isn't just any caravan. 60,000 soldiers, 12,000 slaves, 80 camels carrying 300 pounds of gold each. Leading them? A king so wealthy, he crashes entire economies just by passing through. His name is Mansa Musa, and he rules an empire so powerful, so rich, that medieval Europe can barely comprehend it exists. This is the story they didn't teach you in school. The rise and fall of the Mali Empire, told like the epic it actually was. Welcome to African Game of Thrones. Act 1. The Rise. Our story begins in 1235. West Africa is fractured. The Sasso Kingdom, led by the tyrannical sorcerer king Semanguru Kante, rules through fear and dark magic. Or so the legends say. Enter Sundiata Keita, born crippled, mocked by his own people, exiled as a boy. Sound familiar? Think Bran Stark, but this guy actually becomes king. Sundiata can't even walk until age 7. His mother is ridiculed. His family is humiliated. But when the Sasso king massacres Sundiata's 11 brothers, everything changes. The crippled prince rises, literally. According to the Epic of Sundiata, he stands for the first time using an iron rod, which bends under his strength. He gathers an army of exiled warriors and returns. The Battle of Karina, 1235. Sundiata faces Semanguru at the Battle of Karina. The Sasso king is supposedly invincible, protected by powerful sorcery. But Sundiata's griots, his bards, his spies, discover the secret. An arrow tipped with white rooster feathers can break the spell. Sundiata shoots. Semanguru falls. The Sasso kingdom collapses. And from its ashes, Sundiata founds the Mali Empire. Epic music swell. But this is just the beginning. Act 2. The Golden Age. Fast forward to 1312. A new emperor takes the throne, Mansa Musa. Mansa means king of kings. And Musa? He takes that title seriously. Under his rule, Mali controls the gold mines of Bambuk and Bure, the salt mines of Tagaza, the trade routes connecting North Africa to the Mediterranean. We're talking about roughly 40% of the world's gold supply. Mansa Musa's net worth? Modern estimates put it at $400 billion. That makes Jeff Bezos look broke. The Hajj that broke economies. 1324. Mansa Musa decides to make the pilgrimage to Mecca. But he doesn't travel light. Remember that caravan we mentioned? 60,000 people, each carrying supplies for a 4,000-mile journey. When Musa enters Cairo, he gives away so much gold, to the poor, to officials, to random people on the street, that he tanks the Egyptian economy for the next decade. Gold becomes so plentiful it loses value. Inflation skyrockets. Realizing his mistake, Musa actually borrows gold on his way back to stabilize the currency. Think about that. He gave away so much wealth, he had to take out loans to fix the economy he broke. Timbuktu, the intellectual capital. But Musa wasn't just about flexing wealth. He brings back architects from Cairo and builds the Jingareber Mosque, the Sankore University, the Great Mosque of Gao. Timbuktu becomes the intellectual heart of Africa. We're talking 25,000 students, libraries with hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, scholars studying mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and law. While Europe is barely emerging from the Dark Ages, Timbuktu has streetlights, universities, and a booming book trade. Books are so valuable in Timbuktu. They're worth more than any other commodity except gold. This is the Africa they don't show you in textbooks. Act 3. The Empire's Shadow. But here's where the Game of Thrones comparison gets really accurate. Power comes at a cost. Mali's wealth is built on control of trade routes, subjugation of neighboring kingdoms, a strict social hierarchy. Salt and gold flow through Mali's borders, but so does slavery. War captives, criminals, and conquered peoples fuel the empire's expansion. This isn't a fairy tale. This is empire building, with all its glory and all its darkness. The empire's reach. At its peak, the Mali Empire stretches from the Atlantic coast to modern-day Niger. That's over 1.2 million square kilometers, roughly the size of Western Europe. And it's not just military might. Mali's rulers establish legal codes, diplomatic relations with Morocco, Egypt, and Arabia, a postal system using runners, an organized tax system. Ibn Battuta, the famous Moroccan explorer, visits Mali in 1352 and writes, "The Mali people possess admirable qualities. They are seldom unjust and have a greater hatred of injustice than any other people. There is complete security in their country." This is an Islamic scholar from Morocco, not exactly prone to praising sub-Saharan Africans in that era, and even he's impressed. Act 4. The Fall. But empires don't last forever. After Mansa Musa's death in 1337, cracks begin to show. Problem 1. Succession chaos. Weak rulers, court intrigue, power struggles. Classic empire collapse. Problem 2. The Mossi raids. Southern kingdoms start chipping away at Mali's borders. Problem 3. The Songhai. A vassal state to the east starts flexing. By 1468, they capture Timbuktu. Problem 4. European contact. Portuguese explorers arrive on the West African coast in the 1450s. They establish direct trade routes, bypassing Mali's middlemen entirely. The empire's economic stranglehold? Gone. The final blow. By 1600, the Mali Empire has fractured into competing kingdoms. The Songhai Empire rises in its place, until they too fall to Moroccan invaders armed with gunpowder weapons. Timbuktu's libraries? Looted and burned. The manuscripts? Scattered. The wealth? Fades into legend. And for centuries, European historians dismiss it all as myth. But here's the thing. The evidence is undeniable. We have the manuscripts. We have the archaeological sites. We have eyewitness accounts from Arab and European travelers. The Mali Empire was real. So why didn't you learn about it? For centuries, the narrative was simple. Africa had no history before colonization. No empires. No intellectuals. No civilization. That light justified slavery, colonization, exploitation. But the truth? While Europe was fragmented into feudal kingdoms, Mali was a continental superpower. While European universities were just getting started, Timbuktu had 25,000 students. While European monarchs hoarded gold, Mansa Musa gave it away so freely he crashed economies. The Mali Empire wasn't perfect. No empire is. But it was sophisticated, powerful, wealthy, and influential in ways that completely shatter the racist narratives used to justify centuries of oppression. The legacy. Today, thousands of ancient manuscripts survive in Timbuktu, hidden by families who protected them during wars and invasions. They contain knowledge on astronomy, mathematics, medicine, philosophy, and law. They're proof of what we lost, and what we're still rediscovering. The story of Mali isn't just African history. It's world history, and it's time we started teaching it that way.